What is going on, all-terrain nation? Whether it be two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, or all these cars we've been driving, this is your all-terrain nation. And I'm your host, David Wood, alongside co-host Miss
Kelly Boyd.
Man, I hope we'll have a few more jump in here, I'm sure. I know this is kind of a strange deal. It's not a Ford exclusive show tonight. We're just talking BS shop tonight because, well, we've kind of missed you guys.
Yeah,
it's been a month. Do you realize that it's been basically a month?
No, it's been like 2 weeks.
No, it's been a month.
No.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
First of the month, I believe.
I don't believe it.
Oh, now she's going to double check me
I am
over
going
here.
to double check you.
Oh, man. Cheers, everybody. Nice little glass of whiskey and whatever Kelly's in. And oh, man.
It's a mixed drink of some sort.
Yeah. We've, first off, I have to say this. Steve P came to me, which Steve P showing as a new member, though he's not a new member. Steve came to me and said, hey.
Welcome back, Steve P.
Yeah. And Steve's now what do we call it? The traveling member on YouTube.
Wow.
So we greatly appreciate it. Plus, I think Steve P's on Patreon as well. CP's going crazy with us.
Glutton for punishment with the ATN crew.
But we appreciate the support. But
yes,
Steve P said, hey, YouTube quit. They shut off my membership. And it's not us by any means. So if you are a supporting member, just double check if you want to continue. That's if you want to continue to support us. I just wanted to get that out there.
2 weeks ago, sir.
What?
2 weeks ago, and then 3 weeks before. Yeah, a month. It's been 2 weeks.
That's mid-size truck.
No, it is not. Ford Talk Live, talking about the Everett's 2 weeks
Trust
ago.
me, it's 3 weeks ago. Now,
either way, it's been too long.
It has been way too long, but now I'm gonna have to prove her wrong. Anyways, so we thought, hey, tonight it's Memorial Day weekend. For one, thank you to all the service members who
and the ultimate sacrifice.
Yes, and continue to support the country. We greatly appreciate that. And I don't think a lot of people, younger people especially, they just think it's a party down weekend. They don't. Yeah. I don't think they realize what this weekend's actually about.
Yeah, they don't realize that it's actually for those that lost their lives during their service.
Yes.
So I don't know how you appreciate the service, but we appreciate your contribution. Yes. Those that have lost members and
yes, May 6th. Today's the 27th. So it's been about 3 weeks.
It was 2 weeks ago, dude.
Okay, whatever.
21 days.
Anyways, I hope everybody's having a good Monday, though. I hope everybody's had a good long weekend, and I hope you got a long weekend for one thing.
So, Michael, nice to know. So we actually text Allie and said, hey, Allie, you've got the night off. Enjoy your evening off, because we kind of threw this on her last minute. And we just kind of really wanted to talk about our road experience over the last couple of weeks. So we didn't want to drag her in to all the boringness of that.
The busiest couple of weeks we've had.
It is. It is. So she is also suffering from a migraine, she said too. So we told her, don't even try to jump on, take the night off. So,
but I do like that budget.
Yeah. The funny thing is people think there's a budget there. No, we're all just volunteers in what we do.
Pretty much, man. That's why the supporting membership helps. Trust me, because these trips are getting expensive. And I think we went to, so I guess we'll just start. A couple weeks ago, we went to Palm Springs, California.
Mm-hmm.
Ford invited us out to check out the new Raptor R, which nobody watched that video. I'm very surprised that nobody, I know it's a niche truck.
Yeah.
The Raptor R is,
yeah.
But even Tremor, and we have a large off-road audience.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Just nobody. I don't know if it was the time released, what was going on, but
I don't know.
And unfortunately for us, there was an embargo on these videos, so there's certain times we could release them. But we did the one. I think we teased. No, we haven't teased a clip of it. We did 2 laps where at Ford's Proving Grounds,
mm-hmm.
and out in Johnson Valley, they have a lot of area out there. That's, I guess, their area to play in, and they have a race course. I guess it's part of the Snore series of racing, or I don't know the racing name. I think it's Snore or Score. I'm sure somebody in here will tell me.
It's out of my wheelhouse.
Right. But my buddy Danny would know.
Yes.
Danny, this is Danny's racing. So we get to go out there, and we were so at the beginning of the video where you see or at the beginning of the intro or at the end of it where you see the Ranger Raptor flying down there. That's where we were at, that exact area. We got to fly down that lake bed, which was a lot of fun. But Ford invited us out.
I didn't fly down the lake bed.
No, she didn't want to drive.
I jumped,
that part.
But I didn't want to drive. No.
But Ford invited us out there to test out the new Tremor and Raptor R, which was, I will say this, Kelly, the trucks were already out.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably what hurt the video performance a little bit, is because I was watching videos while we were flying out there. I was like, oh, cool. But I don't know if it's due to the strike or what happened. They just had a budget of like, hey, this is in the budget. We have to do these things.
I think they wanted a new bump, and they were hoping this would do a new bump because, those things. But I will say that, and I don't know if this made it to video. You've put the Tremor one out, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know if this made it to the final cut, but I'm really glad that Ford sent us out to test out these trucks, because I don't think of an off-road, or I don't think of an F-150 as off-road capable,
this was topic we were talking about a lot out there.
So this is very much was eye-opening to me to see it, because where we off-road midsize and SUVs. Yeah. Like, that's the extent of the space that we really have available for us to off-road. So for me to actually off-road the truck and experience it, to see its capability, was great.
Yeah.
Because it really helped me see, okay, this truck is capable. It's not just a hauler. It's not just a work truck. It's not just fun in the sand.
Yeah.
It can actually get out there and climb and do all the fun things.
And RR Raptor says, here's $1.99 for your ZR2 Bison.
Thank you.
That'll
Raptor.
Get us about a touch of the door, maybe. But we greatly appreciate any support you guys give.
Thank you.
Ronald, I don't know what Ronald does here, but I think he's done something.
I think it's some stars on Facebook.
On Facebook.
Thank you for that.
Thank you, Ronald. Ronald's our buddy, our GMC buddy now. We can't say he's a Nissan friend anymore. He's a AT4X buddy from Hawaii. But the photo I got up, this is the kind of, and this was new for you. You've never got to off-road in this kind of terrain before. You've pretty much Mississippi River, East Coast is where you've off-roaded.
So similar type of terrain really is what we were off-roading into what we've done out here, but this is wider. So there has the ability for the full-size truck to make it through, to do those obstacles, to have all that fun. And also had some of the kind of sandy stuff to test it out.
You can see here, you can see all the sand in the soils and stuff. Of course, we got to do ever so slightly rock crawling with this thing. But I mean, it's not real. Let's be honest. This full-size truck is not built for rock crawling. I'm
really, really sad that you missed getting my epic donut around the fire pit, because the video or the guy up there even said that was the best one of the day.
So the Tremor has trail turn assist, which I did not know about.
Yes.
I don't know if that was new do you remember? Because it's been a couple weeks on this press trip, but it was in a full size truck. I can see a lot of need for that.
It was amazing, because when I came up off, and so you're climbing up this hill, and once I got up and they immediately turn you into this, like, doing the trail turn around a fire pit, and the guy's like, turn it, and I'm like, I'm turning it. He's like, give it, and I said, I got it. So I did like 3 rounds around the fire pit, and the guy was like, that's the best one I've seen today, and I was like, thank you. It's in my first rodeo with a trail turn assist, but it was good. It was good times.
Joshua Rittenhouse says, a buddy of mine is super rich and just got the Tremor. I don't get it. Why not just get the F-150 or Raptor? The Tremor looks like a normal F-150. Well, so each grill now, or each trim of the truck gets a different grill now, which is nice. And sorry.
Had to mute your phone.
Yeah, I did. But so towing, for one thing, these things are full tow, 12,000, 14,000 pounds, something like that. Something Ford claims that I would never tow 12 to 14,000 pounds with this truck. But where the Raptor, if you want to tow anything, I want to say the F-150 Raptor was pretty down there. I don't remember. Under 7,000, if I remember right. Kelly will look it up real quick. But that would be one for me. I like the Tremor. I think there's good value in the Tremor, depending on how you obviously package it. There's definitely, for a full-size truck, like here, if I had side-by-sides, say we had a pair of side-by-sides out in Johnson Valley, I would use that Tremor to tow with it all day long. You could go rip out in the dunes a little bit with it. It would be just as capable. But ultimately, I think that's where if you want a Raptor, it's because you want the most high horsepower thing you can get in an F series truck. The suspension is night and day. I will say, did you notice that?
Yeah.
When like the Tremor is definitely rigid on the trails, and it's
tighter.
off-road, it's off-road tuned, but not like when we were in the Raptor R. That was, I mean, it better be though for $70,000 or $80,000. I think it was 80,000 as tested.
Yeah, so this one was definitely, it was stiffer. You definitely felt it, and I know there's going to be jokes in the chat over it. So it's just there, you can definitely feel the difference between the smoothness of the Raptor versus but that rigidness gives you that ability to tow more. It allows you to be more of a workhorse and allow you to take it out on the trails and work during the day with it.
Yes, which I think especially they don't do the power boost with that, if I remember right.
I don't remember.
I don't believe with Tremor you can get to power boost, but here we are. There actually happened to be the photographers that were with us from Ford were actually rocking a Raptor, a Ranger Raptor. And I had mentioned to one of the Ford personnel of like, hey, can we switch? Because I'm in the dream terrain for Raptor, and I have to say, chili pepper red on this thing actually looks great in person. Do I regret my color choices? No, but would I've chose that second? Probably. Now seeing it on the truck. What were some of your takeaways from our first time in Palm Springs, California? Long flight out there for us. And I know some of our journalist friends have not been real happy because they flew us
some opinions.
They flew us out there. We got out there about 4 p.m. Pacific time, and well, it was like, all right, let's go. Time to start driving, and we got to drive the new Blue Cruise.
Yeah,
we were in an F-150. I believe it was a Lariat that we were driving with Blue Cruise in it.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Unfortunately, we were stuck in rush hour traffic with it, so that was kind of a bummer of getting to drive the thing. But ultimately, very nice system. You got to play with it more than I did. What did you think of Blue Cruise?
I did. I actually really liked Blue Cruise. For someone who has control issues, it's a little it's a little bit of an adjustment to make when you're using the Blue Cruise, because it will actually allow you to it'll actually change lanes for you safely as well if you allow it to do that.
We'll give you some control issues, right? Your control issues kick in and
checking in,
but it's nice. You just touch the turn signal and it'll just go,
and it'll automatically just do it. And if there's cars over there, it's not going to push you over there. Now, one thing I do want to say is that if you keep that blinker on, it's going to continue to try to get you over if there are more lanes for you to get over into. I did experience that at an intersection where I was just getting over to the right lane, and then it started to try to go into the turn lane. So you definitely just still have to be aware, because it's not a foolproof. It's not I'm going to drive this vehicle for you. Think of it as an assistant to driving and kind of giving you that different experience. So I really enjoyed the Blue Cruise once you can get over that, and then providing that, ability over to the system a little bit.
Now, if you guys do not know this lady that is taking a photo with us, you should, because this is Miss Sue Mead, and Sue Mead's a badass. Has been a badass for a few decades now, and if you think of Dakar racing, she's done it. She's done a lot of racing with Ford. I believe she was part of the team that won the first I forget which race it was. I don't think it was Baja, it might have been, but she was part of the Ford Performance first Raptor. And but Sue is a journalist, and she's a friend of ours, and of course, you get around legends, you got to do the selfie, right?
Got to do all the legend things.
But you got to know Sue a little bit more. Great person.
Yeah, Sue's a badass. Sue, I just can't even explain all the things that that we were kind of talking about, and I was very happy to be graced with her presence in the vehicle on the way to and from the F-150 event between the hotel and the site, and just really got a great opportunity to have some really great conversations about her experience having been in the industry. And then we were blessed to have dinner with her too afterwards and have some really great talks with her. So we're very, very thankful that she made time to talk to us and have some conversations and really kind of kind of give us some insight.
Well, in our industry, like Tim Esterhall, he's been a big mentor to us over the years. Sue has become a nice little mentor to us a little bit. So there is no play-by-play book for a lot of what we do. So,
and I am one that wants a playbook. I want to know what I'm supposed to do all the time. It's that little bit of type A that's in me that I just want to follow the rules and follow the line, and really there isn't that. And so that's why we're kind of figuring out how to navigate and all the things. And she was great to help us with that.
This was the downfall of my day right here, though. So what you don't see, there's somebody's already got an ice cream. I think that's Sue's holding an ice cream bar right there. And at the end of so we did the Tremor part in the morning, and then lunchtime we drove the Tremors to where the F-150 Raptors were, and then the crew before us, TFL, and some of those guys were in front of us on the Raptors, and then we switched trucks and we get to do the Raptors, and they take the Tremors out. So when we stopped here, we were airing up the tires here, which was very cool. I'm glad that Ford aired down the tires a little bit.
Yes.
But they offered us ice cream, and as somebody I used to drink a lot of milk, but I don't really do milk anymore. And not thinking, and just kind of being a part of it. You were there, Sue was there.
You keep being said, "Hey, there's ice cream up here at every stop." You finally go, "Okay, fine, I'll have an ice cream."
Tim would give in. He goes, "They keep talking about this ice cream. Just give me the ice cream," and just being sarcastic and funny. And so I ate it, and there's a story to be had later with this. But this is at the shop where they build the Baja trucks, and it was really cool to see the Gen 1. And Gen 1, Gen 2, I think they had all the gens there. But there's the 6.2 liter, the big one. Now this was the kind of the I forget what they call this, the King Cab, basically. I forget what Ford calls theirs. But this is the one they keep this thing showroom new. They will take it to events and drive it around every once in a while. But this thing was beautiful, man. And we've got some friends that's got a Gen 1, same color, except they got the 4-door model. And I like
for a minute.
Yeah, I like that truck. Yeah, they're trying to get rid of it. Damn them. But here was our ride for the Raptors for the day. This is the Raptor R that we get to tool around in, and I love the wheels of this thing. They are pretty freaking sharp. We didn't get the crazy graphics package on ours, which was by the time we're done, they're dirty, you can't tell. But impressions of this, because we say it in the video, or you say in the video, was you've been a TRX girl.
Yes.
And I think the fact that you got to experience Ford's version change your mind a little bit, right?
Yeah, and I don't know if you got this on camera either. Was that, I really truly have been a TRX girl through and through, because that rumble just gets me every time. And Ram is well appointed. It's done well on the inside, my opinion, of course. And it just drives well. Well, I may have changed my mind after sitting or, riding in the Ranger Raptor for the second half of the day, or the Raptor R, because it's just, you don't get the rumble, but it has its own unique rumble.
These guys gonna say it's got his own rumble,
but it's just smooth and it just wants to go. And, you just don't, I don't know. I just can't explain it.
Well, I kind of I look at the TRX as a lion. And lions can run fast in short bursts. But I look at the Raptor as more of a cheetah. It's just smoother when you see it running, going. It's just more graceful. The TRX, which is a great truck, don't get me wrong, it's a brawny bruiser.
Yeah,
that's sort of built to be a brawny bruiser. That Dodge and Ram and them, they know, just throw a big V8 in something and people will buy it. Well, I think that truck was, yes, they put an upgraded suspension in and stuff, but ultimately the Raptor brand is still the king of the jungle. I know I shouldn't call it that, since I just called it more of a cheetah. But yes, I think this is well refined, and just overall was a great performance. Here's Kelly actually jumping the thing, and I seen somebody giving you shit about this, and they're like, well, that wasn't much of a jump. We didn't build the little jump that Ford was having us go over. I mean, I think the best one of the day was,
I couldn't do the Ram jump. I'm sorry, folks.
Yeah. I think the best one of the day was barely more than what you got. But what was your experience? Because I did this first, and I was having some cramping issues due to the ice cream. Now, you'll notice there's no restaurant or restrooms out here, so we'll get to that.
There's your towing.
But so I did it once, and you really need 2 times to get a feel for because we didn't at this point still didn't have a great feel for the truck, how it performed in loose sandy terrain. And at the jump, they said you want to be hitting what 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, so they said, okay, take off, but don't take off too fast.
Yes.
And then hit 60 by the time you hit these green cones, and then just whoop. And I was like, and he kept saying, and then just whoop. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't think I got it on camera, but I actually said to him, I was like, okay, you're gonna have to talk to me like I'm a kindergartner. So what does whoop mean? Does whoop mean go? Does whoop mean yes? Does whoop mean just let it do its thing? He's like, no, that means speed up. And I was like, yeah. Okay, because I don't know that whoop means speed up.
Right.
So literally the first time I did it, I think I got to like 52 by the time I hit the cones.
I think I was right at 50 when I did it.
Yeah, and so I got like right at 52 when I hit the cones.
Leading up to it, what you don't know is there's no like path. It's sand, and if you've never driven in sand, which we're very limited to driving in sand, the truck, you were fighting the truck kind of it wasn't getting sideways, but to keep it tracking where you wanted to be.
Yeah, because there were whoops in the sand. Like there were, I don't know what they
more whoops,
I don't know what they called them, but there were like divots in the sand. And everybody we talked to after in our run essentially said the same thing. Like they couldn't get up to 60 either once you hit that, because when you're hitting those, the truck is wanting to go like whatever distance if you're not going fast enough. Now, if we were going fast enough, I think it wouldn't have been a problem. But the problem is you didn't have a long enough really straightaway in order to get up to hit it, to hit that 60. But I think the most I hit was like 56 or 58.
And being journalists, you don't want to go out there and be that asshole that just goes and tears up. Trust
100%.
me, we were with a couple out there that would have just loved to just roll the truck. Like they just have zero F's given. Like they're just like, they think these are toys that they get to play with, break, do whatever.
Right.
But we're not that. We're still, I will say, compared to those people, we're very green.
Yes.
So we were very cautious with how we approach this. But yes, so I'm out here trying to squeeze the cheeks together and take this photo and some video of Kelly doing this. But I told y'all, like, she was a little iffy with doing this. And
I took one for the team, folks. I did, because I knew we didn't get footage. Well, so here, let me tell how it happens. Okay. So we didn't get footage of ourselves doing it the first time. So when Dave went and did it, and then
I think we have inside footage, but not outside.
But yeah,
footage.
so then he's like, I can't do it again because his stomach is pretty torn up.
Trust me, the want was there.
And to me, I'm going, well, shit, we can't come out on this epic trip and not get footage of one of us jumping. So he's like, you need to go do this. And I was like, I need to go do this. And he's like, yes. And I was like, well, somebody's got to do it. So I took one for the team and I went and jumped it.
Right. And this is literally like, I think you were a little nervous here.
You think?
So we'll just let this play.
Are you about to jump?
Oh, I can't hear it.
Such a rookie.
I know. Oh, what turns off when there's no audio going? All right, let's see. This is Kelly.
Are you about to jump this thing?
I didn't sign up to jump, but then I really signed up to jump.
So right there, I think that was a nervous voice, right?
100%.
So you were pretty like, oh, what am I getting myself into?
Yeah, like no doubt.
Because they put you in a Hans device. If you don't know what a Hans device, it's to help keep your neck from getting whiplash and stuff. You're attached to your helmet. I won't say it's intimidating, but you're like, oh shit, they're putting us in the real gear.
So this was more intimidating than when we went to Bronco Raptor off rodeo.
Okay.
Because they didn't put us in the Hans. They only put us in the helmet. But I do think the Hans is the way to go because it does hold everything together, because I think the helmet itself, you do just kind of bobble around, because that was not a great experience.
I have a feeling they're doing that now for that.
Which would make sense that they would, because I felt like it was more.
But so yes, this is Kelly.
I really signed up to jump. So
let's see her jump this thing right now.
Actually, leading up to the whole day, I told him I don't want to jump.
She was a badass.
She did. But I think part of it was a comfort issue of just not wanting to see anything of it. Yeah, you can see where we start out back there. I think this was Esther Hall. I think this was Tim.
It's either Tim or the guy in front of us.
But good jump. That was right there. So here's Kelly taking off, and of course, it seems like it takes forever, but like I said, it's hard to track right here, keeping that truck going straight. It's sliding. You're spinning a little bit.
My second jump was better.
Smooth.
Get air?
A little bit.
This is
You
great.
need
Look
to
at
go
your
one more
face.
time.
Oh, do I?
You need to crank
Watch
it
this.
a little more than what
Okay.
you're doing.
I felt like I was hitting it slow. So.
I mean, I don't know if they'll let you do another one, but
Well, ask them.
just drive down there. Just go.
I love that. I just go.
Here's the second one.
You were the last one to do it.
I think my air the second time was pretty decent.
Oh no, much better the
Just
second.
saying.
Much better the second time. But yeah, I mean, good experience for you getting to do that. I've gotten to do a little bit of that stuff, but not much. So I think it was good. It was good for both of us to get to experience.
Oh, for sure.
That style of off-roading, something like I said, we don't have a ton of experience with. Let me see. I'll pull our photos back up here.
So actually, as a journalist, they don't really give you a damage waiver. Your damage waiver is really like, would you like to be invited back? Don't do something stupid.
Yes.
That's like your damage waiver.
Yes, 100%. Because there are people, they just don't get invites again because they want to act a fool.
Yeah. So that is definitely not our plan. Go to
Right.
these events.
Now this is out on the flatbed. This is where they were, like I said, at the Ranger Raptor intro video where you see it like ripping through there. This is where they were doing that. But we watched this dirt devil like form in front of us, and
it was the length of two F-150s nose to nose.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I so wanted to drive through the damn thing. I don't know why. Just the kid in me was like, I just want to kind of rip it and see if it breaks it up or anything. But we got to do kind of slaloms through here and stuff, which was a lot of fun. You did not drive this portion of the track, right?
I was not a fan of this portion of the track, even as a passenger. I was not a fan of it.
Really?
Yeah, it's the control part. Like, and especially after we knew somebody had blown a tire, I think that made me even more nervous. That there was that possibility of blowing if you went too tight or whatever. You
never want to blow when you're too tight.
And when you're in high speed situations and you blow a tire, it can just get bad.
Yes. And and we did have a flat tire out there.
That's what I'm saying.
Someone did.
And so that's why I was really kind of nervous after that.
Right. So
I definitely held on tight.
Cheeks were grabbing the seat. Huh?
Yeah. Cheeks and hands, grabbing everything.
This was out on the flat, the lake bed, the dry lake bed out there. And we at this point I was like, I'm ready to just rip on this thing. Or no, this was at the end of it, wasn't it? This was after.
Yeah, this was after everything. You can see our fingerprints.
Yes. And had a blast, man. I say it in the video, if you buy a Raptor or Raptor R, you need to experience it how the truck was intended to be experienced. Now that doesn't mean you can't buy one on East Coaster and drive it as a daily, whatever. But I think to truly understand what you bought, if you're buying, this is $115,000, $119,000 truck, us East Coasters don't know what we bought other than a big brawny V8 engine, right?
Yeah. So you don't really understand it until you've actually put it to the test and driven it. Right.
But we this was fun. End of the day. I'm feeling a little bit better here, as you can see. I'm smiling a little bit. So definitely feeling a little bit better. But let me Esterthal caught me in a candid moment. And I want to bring this photo up because this was great. And he was like, man, I'm not going to share that. I was like, I will, because I have no shame. But here we go. So he goes, Dave, what do you got in your hand? And I was like, what are you talking about? Because I didn't see it initially. And I was like, oh, what did you capture? Me holding a roll of toilet paper. So as most of you guys know, I'm a land surveyor. I have to go through the woods. Like, it's just part of what I do. There's no porta-john or anything generally in the middle of the woods. But so for me, whatever. But I'm panicking a little bit because when we did the jump, I told you, I was like, this is getting bad. And for me to be like, hey, this is not
it's
good.
Got to be bad.
For one, I don't want to embarrass ourselves or myself in front of the fellow journalists. They're like, great, this is the rookie out there that can't hold his poo.
My God.
But so
you could let them have a little bit of an imagination.
Candid Douglas Blair says. So I talked to Tim and I was like, Tim, do you think anybody do you think they have toilet paper?
Because we usually travel with wipes.
Yes.
Like when we're off-roading, because you just never know when you have to go to the restroom in the woods or whatever. And since we were on this press trip, I didn't have wipes.
And so Tim goes, I'm sure, because we were out there with race professionals too.
Yeah.
And there was a chase truck with us. And I think this truck, these trucks with the lights were the chase trucks. And they're like, yeah, we got toilet paper. And I'm looking around, I'm going, well, I'm just going to take off that way. Just so you guys know, I'm hopping in one of these trucks. I'm not stealing it. I'm just going way out there. And I was like a cat in a
I asked
sandbox.
him if he covered his trail.
Yes, I did cover my trail, but it was pretty embarrassing. But after that, I was like, race on. And thank God that it happened then, because right after this is when we did the race course. And there's no way I would have wanted to pass up the race course.
Yeah, there is definitely nowhere to hide in the desert. So we literally pulled a truck around and he went behind the truck. Yeah.
Yeah. I dug a hole.
Did his thing.
I dug a hole and dug a hole. Ultimately though, that trip was a lot of fun. We learned a lot. I want to say thank you to Ford for inviting us out there.
Yes.
Clearly we're being taken seriously, not by Pickup Truck Plus SUV talk there, but we are finally getting to be taken a little more seriously. And guess what they did do? Our PR connection over there did apologize to us for the Ranger Raptor.
Yeah.
She said it was an oversight. She goes, when we got there, I was like, where's Dave and Kelly? And then she happened to look at her list and she's like,
oops,
damn it.
Yeah.
So
we appreciate that.
She gave us a nice apology. We didn't have to get that. She doesn't owe us anything, but it was nice that they knew this was where we should have been, and didn't happen. And she also told me the next time you don't see that, she said, bug me. I was like, I will bug you. Trust me. Because I know they got a lot of cool things coming up here.
So we'll see. So hopefully you'll see some more coming up.
Yes.
But we also aren't going to exhaust that contact either.
No,
so
100%. Take away, Kelly, from the 3-day trip out west.
Traveling is exhausting. Plan for multiple temperatures, especially when you go to the desert. That was our first time in the desert together.
It was 101 when we were in Palm Springs, and by the time we got up into the mountains for the Tremor drive, I think it was 75.
Yeah. So very different. We also did just shy of 8,000 feet elevation wise.
Yeah. And we went from 400 feet to 8,000 feet.
Yeah. So that was definitely, not that we haven't done that when we've gone to Colorado or things like that, but just kind of some things to think about. If you kind of go out that area, you're definitely seeing like ebbs and flows of different things. But overall, I think it was a great experience. It's great to see that there are still good people that are out there that you're, doing business with essentially. And, there's still people out there that are willing to mentor other people and want the best for the longevity.
Because there is a higher end of this that who don't want to mentor, and they don't have to.
No, not at all.
But they're very scared to share their audience, and we've met some good people who do not mind sharing their audience a little bit with us, so we greatly appreciate that. I think, I've done that flight more recently, I guess, than you have. But yeah, it's exhausting to fly out there, but it's well worth it.
100%.
The exposure we're getting to vehicles now, which is thanks to you guys. We're only a quarter of it. If you guys didn't follow along doing, with our adventures and our reviews and stuff, we would not get this access. So thank you guys for all the support on that. But I think, yes, but we knew when we were flying back, of course, we flew out there, Dallas to Palm Springs. We flew back Colorado to Nashville, a little bit longer. There was something. Our airport. So we fly Southwest. We're probably the only journalist in America that decided that Southwest was their main hub, and everybody else flies Delta or American or something.
But the reason for that, the whole reason we did that is because there's a cost to checking a bag on most every other airline.
Yes.
And so and plus, honestly, Southwest, while we're still paying out of pocket for a lot of flights, is still typically cheaper for us to fly on Southwest, and we get to check 2 free bags. So really there's that's why we're really the only journalists out there that have chosen Southwest, because while we're still paying for our own way right now, that's the trade-off for it, for sure.
Yes, but ultimately that was a good trip.
It was a great
too
trip.
Quick. It was for the turnaround. It was too quick, but
Mhm.
that's just there's a bunch of journalists. I'm sure you guys have seen other videos on the
Mhm.
Raptor or whatever, or in the Tremor. So yes, it was nice. We were wave 1, which was really nice. I did hear there was another wave with a few influencers involved, which they're super nice people, but they're taking weird photos, and that's about all they're doing. I kind of like to hang with our fellow journalists that just because we like to bounce ideas off of them, and they bounce ideas off of us. And
yeah, we're in that weird like hybrid. We've talked about this. We're in this like weird niche hybrid kind of thing because we love vehicles, and that's why we like doing what we do. But at the same point, we're journalists in the same right. So we're trying to kind of toe that line where we're not being considered as influencers because we don't want to be in that niche.
And, there was one journalist out there, I won't say names, that I know don't like vehicles. They're just there because for whatever reason in life, they took a journalism course in college, and that was their out. Somehow got hooked up with I could tell there's one out there that just they're just, and they're good at what they do, but you can just tell they can
just turn it out.
They're just not into the automobiles.
So before we roll on though, we want to talk about towing capacity. So 2.7 EcoBoost V6 on the F-150 has a max towing of 8,400.
Okay.
The 5-liter V8 has a max of 12,000.
Okay.
The 3.5 EcoBoost has a max of 13,500.
Okay.
And then the 3.5 Power Boost full hybrid V6 is a max at 11,200. So that's really why you're going more with the Tremor versus.
Do you have Raptor R?
So I'll have to look at the other one on that because
I know
it's spec
it's
sheet.
I want to say it's $7,000. It's not. I mean, probably for weight trucks used to tow is probably average, but now it's not, because every Raptor I see around here has got a contractor pulling a trailer, and well, it's just being abused.
I've got 720 horsepower with 640 pounds of torque.
Yep. So we have all the torques and all the horses. So right after we get back, you guys know we're also softball coaches and obviously parents. So you got to jump right back into parenting, but knowing basically like 3 days later, it's a turnaround. Basically, we got in, we had to coach a game that night. We do that. And literally that night, our daughter she wanted to try out for volleyball, high school volleyball. No experience in volleyball whatsoever, but
none.
We are always encouraged, like, hey,
do what makes you happy.
Expect the best, prepare for the worst kind of thing. And so we had to rush right after a game, and you had to figure out how to get her a sports physical because her physical had ran out.
Yep.
And then we also had to pack that night. And oh, by the way, we had to be up in the morning by 4 a.m. because
to leave for the airport.
To leave for the damn airport again. And at this point, I think we're both like, why in the hell did we get into this?
Go away from that X button. You about clicked close.
Sorry. But it's always worth it, but it's that 4 a.m. I'm a 5 a.m. guy more than you, like, but you're either at 4 a.m. you're still running on 4 hours.
4 might as well be 3 a.m. for me.
So yes, we get up quite early, and well, it's time to hit the old airport again. And we're pretty lucky. Nashville is pretty close to us. It's only like 20 minutes, really. It's
about 35
to the airport. I always take it for granted that a lot of you guys have and I don't believe this is Nashville though. I think this is Dallas, if I remember right. Anyways,
that is Nashville because there's the Hilton.
Okay. So I always forget though that like Esterthal, he's got a 3-hour drive just to get to Denver. There's a little regional thing there, but if he wants to go out limited. Of a big airport, it's 3-hour drive. A lot of our journalist friends, Sue was the same way. She was talking about the drive she had just to get to an airport, and then she was flying from New York.
Yeah.
Out west was even
small town in New York too.
Yeah, even more of a badass to do that. But so yeah, we are trying to put a smile on our face here. just trying to be like, hey, yeah, this is great.
My shirt says I like coffee and maybe 3 people, and I didn't even have coffee that morning, so I really didn't like anybody that day. And then we had these girls that were just like yapping behind us in Nashville, and we're just talking about having to go to the bathroom and like door dashing and all this other crap.
Yeah.
Like, and we were just like, it is too early for this shit.
I gotta show this because Kelly kill me if I don't. She made
True
me
story.
she made me take this photo. We had to do the tourist days. You can see in my face, I'm just like, can we get this over with?
Hey, why am I wearing that shirt right now?
You are wearing that shirt right now. But yes. So
But it's been cleaned.
Palm Springs. But then we had to fly to Wisconsin, Kelly.
Yes, we did.
And so we're part of a few journalist organizations. Tawa, you've heard us talk about Texas. Then when we fly down to Texas, but we're also part of the Midwestern auto journalists. What Mama is
Midwest automotive shit. Something
I don't think
association.
shit's involved in that. But anyways, we're a part of this organization, and a lot of these have these big rallies. So some cars we're just not either into those manufacturers yet, like GM. GM sent us one vehicle randomly, and then we've never heard from GM again as far as like press loans, just something to show up to us.
Well, I would dig GM if it was like in the type of vehicle market that we talk about. They didn't really have too many SUVs that we could have gotten into and things like that.
No, but I meant it's press loans for.
Oh,
Hubs.
I got you.
A
I got
7-day
you.
loan.
Sorry.
And there's brands like Mazda out there, and just some brands that we just don't have access to just yet. So it's good for us to fly up on our own dime. Trust me, nobody puts us up for this. And we fly up to these things, and this event had 80 cars.
Yeah, it was crazy. And 107 journalists.
Yes. But we got to see a lot of things that we wanted to get into. Like we were in the new Tacoma. We got into you've seen the video of the ZR2. We got into the Bison. And you got to drive some BMW stuff that you were kind of interested in. One you were really interested in. We just couldn't. I don't know why what was the reason we didn't?
Because the PR
they had
that
to
was
be
driving it, they had to be at the airport.
Oh yeah, that's right. So we get up to I feel like this is like your grandparents
showing the
I'm gonna take you on my slides. Though you see my slides here, but yes, there. So this was the resort we were at in Wisconsin, and I've never been to Wisconsin, so this for me was like, oh cool, there's another state I can check off the list.
I've been one time, but it was like quick up and quick out.
I've only been to Minnesota flying, so I don't really count that as like you're never really boots on the ground kind of thing.
Yeah,
but beautiful weather, humongous mosquitoes. But I will say they're not
surprisingly humongous mosquitoes.
Not as aggressive though as like Tennessee mosquitoes. Just like gangster. They're just like got a gun to your head and just like, hey, I'm getting your blood.
I think they're just more gangster together. They were like probably 20 in a bundle.
These guys were just like, hey, bro, got a little squeeze.
Hey, I'm gonna get in your truck. Is that okay? And you're just like shooing them out,
right? David, thank you so much.
Thank you for that super sticker.
Believe it or not, it helps.
Yes, it does
quite a bit.
We very much appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Actually, Anthony, we do have a Subaru story.
Yes, and I'll have an article for you.
So yes, definitely. Kelly has on Patreon. She's been trying to write some stuff for Patreon. So if you're a Patreon member, you'll get access to that stuff.
TBD of when it'll pop, but I will write it for her.
She writes an article about once a year. It seems like.
Shut up.
So her yearly time has come. Beautiful Wisconsin. The weather was great until what you didn't see here was we brought the tornadoes with us.
We did,
because Tennessee is known for we're part of the tornado alley, and for some reason we're up there. We just had dinner.
We're in the 3rd floor.
Yes, and we're trying to hide because there was these sirens in the town going off.
The town was going off. Had the window open, and I told Dave. And we heard somebody knock on the door, and we were like, maybe if we're quiet, they won't mess with us.
How bad is this really going to be?
So we were quiet because we're like, shit, we're used to this. We live in Tennessee. It's fine. And we're the ones that go out on the front porch and look up at the sky and go, is it coming or is it really not? I don't think it's coming. I think it's fine.
Out there.
Yeah. I think it's fine. So we're literally like trying to hide in our hotel. And then they come back by a couple minutes later and knock again. And we're like, okay, maybe they heard something. We'll just be quiet again. And then not even 30 seconds later, they come in the door.
Yes, they came in.
They came in the door and we're like, hey, we need to evacuate you guys to the basement because we're under an extreme tornado warning. And I'm like, son of a bitch.
Yes.
It's a good thing we were clothed. Like, that would have been awkward.
It would have been for them.
But yeah. So we spent about 15 minutes in the basement.
Yeah.
And then came back up to our room.
But so this was the big gathering. you'll recognize some of these people in the pictures. We got to talk with quite a few journalist friends there. Obviously, Jill and Tim. We got Corey there with GT Garage, and a few others back there. But this is what happens, and I kind of want to show you guys because this is what happens. They bring you up, and they booze you up.
Yes.
Manufacturers all pay for this. Of like,
and then
hey,
we passenger in somebody else's vehicle so we
Yes.
can drink.
Yes, yes, definitely do that. But you know, they want all the journalists to have a good time. But you know, do they try to sway your opinion a little bit? I'm sure that's probably the idea behind it. But I think most journalists they don't care about any of that crap. They, you know, thank you for the food. Had a fish fry. It was really good.
So I don't typically eat fried fish, but it was really good. Like all the food was really
sausage.
good.
We had sausage.
Yeah, it was all really good the whole time we were up there.
Right.
Ron Paulin, has GMC sent you a Canyon AT4X to review? They have not, but I am welcome to it.
Yes.
They can definitely send it because we would definitely have some fun with it.
Because that's probably my favorite midsize design wise. That's probably
Same.
my favorite midsize truck. No, last year GM sent us a Silverado
Bison
ZR2 Bison. And for some reason and never talked to us again. So I don't and I'll be honest, the truck had been out for a while, so we didn't get
very much traction on it.
I think maybe 1,000 views on that video, but sometimes they just like to test where you're at. See, okay, do we give them a little more access? But not yet. But we'll definitely we're going to keep our eye out for an invite. And I know a few people over there I really need to reach out to. So we're driving there, and luckily we had a press loan, Kelly. We had a new 2024 Toyota Corolla Cross, fun little SUV.
This is not what we're
No, I know this is not it.
Yeah,
but I wanted to say thank you to Toyota for they gave us a car for the
couple days while we were there,
3 or 4 days we were there, and we appreciate that. And a review is coming out on that car, and surprisingly good little car.
Yeah, it was.
I just have one major flaw to that car, but you'll have to save that for the video. Now, a lot of people, so I'll see in comments sometimes where people go, "Hey man, well you missed this in the review, or you missed this." So when we do these style press events, you get about 30 to 40 minutes with the vehicle. Now they want you at 20 minutes is what they say, because there's a lot of journalists there. Well, there's no proper in 20 minutes. We would just walk around the vehicle and it'd be like an auto show.
Yeah.
But we got down to about 30 to 40 minutes with each vehicle. And so, yes, there's things you're going to miss in reviews, or you might hear me misstep on something every once in a while. And I do try to, if I catch it in the edits, I do try to flash something on the screen to give the correct information. But yes, I see it in the comments. If you guys ever had to try to do this, try to be creative, remember everything about this vehicle in 20 minutes, it's effing a nightmare.
And honestly, you get to a point where we literally were at like 2:30 that day after we'd been going since like 9. And we were like, we don't have another review in us.
I'm
because you get exhausted. Because you really do. You get tapped out on it because you're on thinking, doing the deep thinking of how else can we talk about this vehicle? What are the things the viewers would want to see? All the things. So just know that we try to catch it all, but sometimes it's just not possible to catch it all when you're doing a lot of vehicles in a day. Because I think we did 4, 5 in that day?
I don't remember. It's still kind of a...
And then I went and drove 2 more.
Yeah. I love Andy's comment here. That's what Dave does. He tests people in order to give them a little more access.
And so I correct him more on screen than you ever think. Night, Steve P. Safe travels home.
Thank you for all the support, sir.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate you. A lot of times I will let him finish his statement, and then I will say, "Do you realize you just said this?" And he's like, "Shit," and then he'll reshoot.
Yeah.
So I catch a lot, but I don't always catch it all.
Yes. And then you honestly, some cases you got journalists standing there like, "Hey, you gonna be done with that?"
Yeah, they're not saying anything necessarily, but you can feel it.
Yes, you definitely can feel it to that. And so I would help anybody that wants to be in this industry, but there is a lot of stress just getting to the cars.
Yes.
We were at one event one time where it was basically you ran.
Yes.
You remember that?
Yep.
It was like oh shit, like they just like the green flag goes and they're just running. People are running to
You're like, okay, guys, you can go out now.
Yes. So one thing, and you're going to see a review of this coming up. One thing that surprised me, yes, it's a Jeep product, but we finally got our hands on a 2-door, and of course, Jeep just dropped the new Rubicon or the Recon package, the 35-inch tires, getting cool wheels. Something the 2-door Wrangler guys have been asking for forever. So this is a review that you will get to see coming up, and you can see a little bit of the rock. I won't call that a rock crawl, but it was wet there because of the storms that we had, and this was their off-road section. Nice little off-road section.
Yeah, it was. We actually told the organizers we were impressed with the off-road experience they were able to do at a racetrack.
Yes. But it was nice to you drove this, correct? You did get to drive the
I did not drive this one.
Did you not drive this one?
Nope, you drove it all.
No, I know you drove it because I made a comment that this is the first time you drove a 2-door since we had our YJ.
Oh, so maybe I did a little bit. Not a ton.
This is what happens. We just forget. Did I go past something? Yeah. We go past something. Now, there is the Tacoma, which you're going to see a review coming up on Tacoma. Disappointed, I'll say that.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that. Pretty color.
Yeah.
It was just, I hate to say it was just okay, which bums me out because I had high expectations.
Because here's the thing that was cool about this event that we went to. We tested the vehicles on the same trails all day long. And so what's good about that is you can compare vehicle over vehicle, but we try not to put that in all of the vehicle or all of the videos just because we want people to experience that specific vehicle. But we do give you a little bit of like, hey, the clearance could have been better here or those types of things. So we'll give you little pieces of it, but we're not going to necessarily compare it 1-over-1 throughout each of those videos.
And Gia's got it right. Smash that like button for us.
That like button.
We greatly appreciate that. Believe it or not, that just sends the video out further. So.
And someone asked, how could you join the channel? So we have 2 ways to join the channel. You can either be a part of the Patreon membership, which is on our website.
I'll throw a link up.
And then the other option is we do have membership through YouTube as well. Yes. Honestly, Patreon pays us in the long run a little bit better because they don't take as much as YouTube does, but we're grateful for any support that anybody provides. We are both still working full-time jobs while doing this, so trying to balance the vacation time and all the things. So really that's kind of how it is. So we do have membership in the About You section of the YouTube channel.
And I'll be honest, the members they tend to get earlier access to not every video, but a lot of videos I give earlier access to. But Patreon sometimes gets more photos, gets more opinion stuff. So each one kind of has, their plus and minuses there, but there is the Patreon link, and on your phone you have to minimize something, wasn't it?
Yeah, you have to minimize the chat.
If you go to our main page after the video, if you're interested, go to our main page. You'll see like community and all that, and there is a membership button there.
Exactly, Douglas. It does. They take about 30 to 45%, depending upon.
Yes, not
YouTube does.
Yeah, not necessarily a fair for. Just basically
content
a transaction
creators.
fee.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. This is the life we've chosen to live. Back to that. So there is the Tacoma. Now that did have, for the Bronco people, this truck did have the sway bar disconnect. I want to say it was engaged here, but I couldn't tell you for certain if it was.
I don't think it was.
But it was.
Thanks, Ron. Welcome when you join.
Yes, thank you, sir. You can't, if there's a Bronco around, you can't keep Kelly out of a Bronco.
That's me. I'm the problem. It's me.
I love the new painted fenders on them. Something that they should have just never came out with the matte kind of. Now for a black vehicle that would be fine, but for these nice colors like this, of course we had the code orange package. You can see by the bead-lock capable wheels there, as you can see in the graphics package. It did not have the new roof though. I do want to see the new ones with the new black painted roof because it's a new manufacturer making the roofs for one.
So I don't think I told you this, but we took a friend out who wanted to see the green trail because they wanted to see if they could bring a vehicle for it. So they were like, "Hey, you want to go?"
We won't say it's a friend; it's a manufacturer that shouldn't that should be in their.
Stop telling the toys. You don't tell all the pieces. We just leave it at that.
All right.
Jeez, gosh. Anyway, said, "Hey, will you take me out can I ride shotgun?
Because we had not interest. We own a Bronco. It's not like,
yeah.
I mean, we've driven these things out in the desert.
And so this was up, and there were a couple other things. Somebody was already in the Grenadier, so it was like, okay, I'll take that out. So I literally get up to like what they consider like the starting line before you go out. So when you go in, you either go left for black or right for green, and green is the easy trails.
Blue or green.
Blue or green, sorry. They wouldn't have known any different. Did you have to correct me, really?
Well, because you correct me. I'm trying to get my licks in there.
Dave, let the woman speak. So one way is more difficult. One way is the easy trails. So I get up there and I told him, I was like, I'm going the easy trail. And he's like, really? And I said, yes, there's a reason for it. And he's like, okay, got a Bronco coming in the green side. And you could just tell that they were all like flabbergasted.
Jeep had put this course together.
Yes.
So
yes.
Part of their sponsorship for this event.
Yes.
They had people out there because some journalists have zero off-road experience. And the cool thing about this, I'll let you finish. Cool thing about this was there's journalists that may not get the off-road experience to get to drive these off-road, but they all, trust me, we were at Road America, so they had a beautiful race course for most. That's what I think a lot of the journalists were, was on the race course. Anyways.
So I take it on the green trails and I get out there, and at certain points, there were places where it was like, green goes this way, blue goes this way. And I would come up, and the guy on the hard ones that had already seen me several times that day, he's like, what are you doing? And the friend yells out the window, it was like, we're just trying out the green trails for other reasons. And he was like, what? So
yeah, other reasons.
I took this person around, and I did take this person across the rocks.
Oh, nice.
Because I wanted to show them the experience, you know.
Did you like in the Raptor, like hit it about 60 miles an hour?
No.
That's where you should have.
But we did go, you know, through the sloppy mud and come around and use the trail turn assist around one of the corners and things like that. And yeah, so it was interesting to not. But here's the thing. So I think I told you this, but the funny thing is like once you've been driving all these different vehicles all day long, you forget what you have in your driveway and how the buttons work sometimes. Because for the life of me, my brain was so poof that I couldn't remember how to turn on the stay bar disconnect. I couldn't remember how to turn on the lockers because I lost
and this
the
is
hero
your
buttons.
daily driver.
Yeah, and it's my daily driver. So I lost those things in my brain for a second. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. They're up here. So got drunk and bought a Mustang. No idea.
I haven't sold it yet. Trust me.
We haven't sold it.
I took it out today for a spirited drive.
And I mean, geez, Devin, you could have gotten drunk and bought ours.
Yeah,
come on now.
I would have gave you a deal on our GT performance.
Yeah, ours is awesome. I mean, it's awesome, but it's got to go. But anyway, so I took it out, and even the Jeep guys knew that this was way too capable to be going on the easy trails. But I told them there was a reason for it, and so it really was difficult not to test her out on all the things going out there. But it was fun.
Yeah. Didn't do a video on this. Once again,
No.
we've been around this truck enough. Like you guys are honestly, you know, Bronco kicked us off pretty good, but you guys don't watch Bronco videos anymore, which is great for me because after a while you want to do new content
for sure.
But yes, and let's see what else is up here. Now, one of the stars of the show was this one right here. So, and the video dropped yesterday. Thank you all for watching it. This truck here. Now we're going to have an on-road impressions video dropping probably next week of this thing, but off-road 35-inch tires. When you see this, the stance this truck has, I've said, and I own a Ranger Raptor. I still think this is a better looking design. I like the aggressive look of this vehicle versus, you know, Ranger's aggressive, but this is aggressive. And then you add all the AEV parts to this thing, and man, 35-inch tires, those wheels are dynamite. I love those wheels in that truck. I would have one of these in my driveway pretty quickly, but stay around for the on-road driving videos.
I was sold.
We've been around this truck. We've been around the ZR2 at Chicago Auto Show a few times. We've seen this truck. First time getting to drive this truck. Very impressed.
Yes, I was very impressed with it. I was very impressed with it off-roading, all the things it was capable of doing. It really handled everything very, very well that day.
Yeah. Oh, and Wednesday or Thursday, we have a comparison video coming up of this versus the Raptor. We got them together, and I think you're going to want to watch that one. Yeah, like a lot of the buttons are right where you would hope they'd be. One button wasn't, which is the light switch, which everybody's bitched about.
Yeah.
So that's not new news to that. I would have liked to have a light switch in there, but I understand why people bitch about it. And I also understand why people are like, do you ever use it? Because only time I like on our Bronco or Ranger is if we're at like Sonic or something, we pull into a stall and I don't want to blind the people in front of me. So I'll turn it off. But yeah, I can whatever. I say it in the video, seat color choices. I was like, it could be better.
Yeah.
But still, I would not turn down this. If GM wants to send us this for a week-long press or the AT4X in Bison edition, the AT4X in the Bison or the AEV, whatever they call their edition over there, I'd take that in a heartbeat for a press loan.
Yep.
And we'd go right to Windrock, and we'd pair it against the Raptor. And I have a feeling this truck's got better ground clearance.
Michael Nice, yes, absolutely. If there was a Bison in the driveway, it would be mine.
Really?
I would definitely steal it.
Damn, you just taking the mid-sized trucks now.
Michael
Huh?
Nice. He said it.
Yeah, but you were agreeing with him.
Yes, because there's a reason to agree with him.
What is don't give too much away, but what is a kind of a generic?
They'll have to watch the video to understand.
I don't think you're in that video though.
Wow.
No, I did a quick run around myself, remember?
No, we did some inside of off-roading with it. Or are you talking about the road?
No, it was the comparison of Raptor versus this.
Oh, I didn't do the Raptor versus that.
Yeah.
No. You did. You asked me a couple things whether it made the cut or not. Yeah. I don't know.
There is the Raptor that we had. Now we didn't take the Raptor off-road because we kind of know all about this, and I have one in my driveway, and I didn't want to take it up from other journalists that were they love that truck, by the way. They love the Raptor. But I didn't want to take it too far away, but there's a couple key things to that. Next up was this monstrosity. Now I did not drive this thing
did not.
because I don't care about the Hummer brand. And there was a lot of journalists around this thing. They were excited to because this is the
every time we were out on the trail, somebody was in it.
This is the X3, so it's the most luxurious one they have right now. Our friend Corey with GT Garage has a review of this. I suggest watching it because you know how tight that course was, and he took this on the harder side. As wide and as big as this thing is, no thank you.
No, because we were nervous enough in the mid-size trucks.
Yeah, because the mud was slick up there.
Yes, it was.
And Corey mentioned, I watched his video. He mentions that many times in this thing of like, man, this is really slick up here. But there is some fun. I mean, there were some fun things out there. I mean, once again, I have zero interest in driving this, but it is what it is. Now, what would you ever go to a race course and not be at the winner's circle?
Right.
Like we had to get us a fun photo at the winner's circle, and Road America is a beautiful course. They take very good care of this place. Our day 2 there, they had exotic cars were out on the racetrack running, which made me totally jealous. I kind of kicked myself for not. I had to go through not a school, but a driving. They do 2 laps around the racetrack, and then you can get certified to drive
beginner's
there.
course, essentially.
And I knew what we had on our agenda. We picked like 5 or 6 trucks that were on our bucket list to do, and racing around the track wasn't on my bucket list.
Well, but here's the thing: knowing now what you knew, knowing now what you know. How do you say that? Knowing now. Knowing how it runs, would you still do it the same, or would you run around the course? Event? Would you do the course?
Oh no, I would do it next year if we go to this. I would do the course. One car that kicked me that I would have loved to driven was the Hyundai Ioniq 5 N.
But there was a wait list for it.
Yes, and it's the one electric vehicle that excites me because they have a great simulation of a transmission. So on a race course, that seems fun, man. It's got a cool sound to it. But that was the only one, the Miata that was there. I would have liked to have gotten to that, but you wouldn't. It's a small car. You wouldn't want any part of that. There was some exotic stuff there. What was the Rolls Royce?
The Phantom.
Was it a Phantom there?
No, now that you're questioning me, I don't know.
Anyways, $250,000 car.
Yes.
A lot of cool stuff that we could have driven there, but the race course doesn't excite me right now.
So Devin, no, there was not a Land Cruiser there.
No,
but that's why we took the adventure in the GX 550.
Right. Which that video dropped today, by the way. Here's our.
And we did. Hold on a second. So we did the Overtrail, and we also did the premium edition of that. So you get to experience both.
The Overtrail Plus dropped today, and the premium will drop hopefully next week sometime.
So definitely check them both out so you can see the difference, because there is a difference.
This was our press loan for the 4 days or whatever it was, the Toyota Corolla Cross
hybrid.
This is definitely in the Subaru kind of. They do an off-roady version of this thing. Very nice vehicle. Once again, you'll see it in my review of this. There's one fatal flaw. Oh, almost skipped. This is Dave. Very many whiskeys in.
And he was singing.
I was singing at
in
a bar.
The bar at the table.
Yes, this bar was great, man. And I kicked myself.
It's called Siebkins. It's in Elkhart, Wisconsin.
Yeah. Dave was feeling no pain there. With some other journalists. So we get part of the experience for us doing this was they have each brand kind of that sponsors this. They have for an hour, they talk to us about their latest vehicles and kind of give you a hint of what's coming up. So here is there's premium. The GX 550 Premium that we got to drive. Great color. I wouldn't own that color, but
I would totally own that color.
Really?
Yes.
I get a couple other colors I like.
I would own
and the wheels are awful to me. But this is a high end. This is a high end vehicle. Not the Overtrail is.
This was actually cheaper than the Overtrail.
Was it really?
Yeah, it's like 70,000 for the premium, and the Overtrail's 80.
Really? I didn't.
Yes.
3 rows, but there's a but to this one.
Just stay tuned to it.
Yes, and if you're watching this, when you watch this video, you're gonna get giggles because I don't want to say it. I don't want to ruin it. But yes, a nice vehicle. I like this better than the Land Cruiser.
So it's not quite as dark as antimatter blue. So it's really more blue than it is.
Yeah.
Like the antimatter blue being black in some instances, it's blue.
Yeah,
for sure.
There's Mama Bear checking out their third row. That made you all excited till we opened up the hatch.
You're spoiling it. Stop it.
Underneath the ZR2. Very nice, very nice.
It's like getting to the punchline and giving the punchline before.
Yeah.
So just stop.
I was surprised. Of course, I pulled up on a rock to be fun here, but I was surprised though how tall this truck is with 35s.
So funny thing is we are pulling in here and I said, oh, you could drive up on a rock or maybe not. And then he drives up on a rock and then another journalist comes by after we're done. He's like, that's a really cool idea, guys. We're like, yeah, well, you got to use what you got.
Yeah. And that's the thing with these two that you have to be super creative about is there's just a whole racetrack there. You find you some place that you want, like this is the thumbnail photo. You got to find kind of creative ways to either do a walk around or discuss the vehicle. Now, this was one of the surprise vehicles, and will be a video dropping on this one. This is the Mazda CX-70 hybrid. This is the plug-in hybrid, if I remember.
Yes, it was.
Very nice. You can tell Mazda is now taking on. They want to take on BMW. They don't want to be an entry level, and this has been known for a while. But they're done being that entry level.
They want to step it up.
We'll say this: a certain credit score.
Yeah,
they're looking for. They want those 800 plus. They want the high end people now. Very nice vehicle. I was surprised. Clearly, I'm doing a fun photo there. I was surprised though how much room there was in the back of this thing, and well, I had to make great use of that. So a lot of fun there.
Hey, Dave, there's a bathroom.
There was a bathroom there. Where was that? In Johnson Valley.
Right there.
Yeah.
In Wisconsin.
I don't think I would have made it.
No.
But we had a lot of fun with this. Now, this was one of the BMWs Kelly saw, and she's like, I want to drive this. Now, we did not do a review on this, so we can give impressions of this vehicle. X2. So this is a X2M edition. Cool paint. I love that flat paint. Sporty, aggressive looking. Gotta go back. What was your thoughts on this car, Kelly?
I was extremely impressed in the drivability of it because it was very fun to drive.
It's an M, so it's definitely going to be.
But I was very unimpressed with the comfortability of it because if you're a little chunky like me, the seats were not comfortable.
And it's an M, so
yeah,
you're not going to be comfortable with it.
So I don't feel like this would definitely not be in the driveway.
This is a weird one to me that when they're getting in these 2 series of I mean, clearly there's a budget even BMW wants to get into, But offering an M and an X2 is kind of crazy. I will say a little 4-cylinder in this thing would get up and go. Sounded great. The downshift on this thing would give you all the fun pops.
Yeah.
And they weren't fake pops because we checked
the window down.
I was like, I bet these are fake. So we rolled down the windows. No, you could hear all the pop, 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 pop.
And I took it on some very curvy roads, and it was really fun to drive. But like I said, the seats were not comfortable at all.
Yeah, but still, this is the kind of access that we get to going on some of these press trips,
which we've not had access to a BMW except for my 2012.
Yes, so which
we owned.
That video still does well.
That's because it's a used vehicle.
That's right.
People are buying. It.
Still I think is a good looking car.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the price point on this one here. Expensive, but 4-door. If you were a single person or maybe just a couple, it'd be a great car for you.
And the reason the seats are not comfortable, so let me clarify, because they're race seats. So
it's
gonna be small.
Let me see. I think I have a photo. Let me pull it up real quick. If I do, I think I have a photo of the interior of that car, and I should have had it out because. Go ahead, Kelly.
But they're race seats, so that's why they're comfortable for track riding. Again, for like a mid-sized person.
The bolstering.
Yeah, because they really do. They curve up the sides. That's it.
Yep. All right. Let me. There they are. Yeah,
they're solid because they hold you in spot.
Aggressively bolstered.
Yes.
It's still nice interior. I like the interior. Fit the car. I did not like the center stack at all, and clearly everybody's going to this, but I just for some reason didn't like that. You really can't see it. I didn't like all the aggressive. Like the door handle was weird.
The shifter is really weird. Very weird. The shifter was very weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it's BMW, so BMW shifter is always a little different. You have a push button for park. It's not, a traditional shifter, but this is actually a toggle switch essentially for your shifter.
Little button there.
So,
which you would probably get used to, but there you can see they're just a very aggressively bolstered. There's the rear of it. I mean, the rear of it who cares? That's the kids probably.
But guess what they have in the back of that tiny little thing?
Air vents?
Air vents.
Look at that. There's some air vents back there. Steering wheel is very racy. Still, it was a good looking car.
Yeah, so it's a 35i.
Yeah.
Because I love driving a BMW when I have curves to drive it on because the control of the vehicle is so smooth and so easy to do that I don't feel like I'm out of control in it.
Yes.
And that's the problem with a lot of vehicles and taking curves for me is that I don't feel like I'm in control enough. And that is the beauty of a BMW is that it does it hugs those curves. You feel like, and you're getting all the fun out of it too.
Devin, you be nice now. Cup holders. Yes, there were cup holders. which we still do. We're still looking for cup holders in the back of vehicles.
Yeah,
now.
because I actually found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the overtrail in the back seat,
including the third row
yes, yes. So 8 in the overtrail in the back seat, and then there were 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the front seat.
I feel like this was a Sesame Street thing all of a sudden.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Stop!
12.
You're gonna get copyrighted.
Disney or whoever owns
Sesame Street
gets me.
Yeah.
Now if we're ever in the area, we didn't get this chunky because we don't eat pizza. If we're ever at Giordano's, I know it's fast food pizza anymore, but I still love this place, man.
But I will say this one left a little bit to be desired.
The waitress was a little weird. Now we are in Wisconsin still, right in the outskirts
Northern
of
Chicago.
Yeah, Northern Chicago. And the waitress was a little strange, and she was even strange when she was seating us. But
no, there was somebody else who sat us.
Well, but I meant when she was taking our order.
Yes.
So people sat behind us, and she literally was talking to them about a dish, and she was coming
special.
to pick up my plate
while he was still eating it
to show these people. And I was gonna fork a bitch, man. Like you were gonna get it. Like I don't live here.
And he only ate half of his pizza.
Yes. So part of our exciting weekend.
Yes, they will ship frozen. but it's just never in my thought budget, because when I want it, I'm willing. Here's the thing. When I want it, I'm willing to pay for it, but it's not going to get here fast enough for me to justify the payment at that point. And
it's really expensive.
Yes.
To have it shipped. Part of our wrap up of this whirlwind 3 weeks that we had was this right here. Now we are softball parents, travel ball parents. So guess
what?
For
the third time this evening, we've told you.
And we had to pack a lot of gear in the Raptor, as you can see it behind us, because we were going to a tournament yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yep. And I have to say, you can see it here.
We drove up Saturday night.
Our little freezer, our little set power freezer right there. Hey, it's on 99 there. Oh, that's right. I had to charge it. This little battery pack for this freezer ran it all day. And I know you see me post this stuff is because they sent us this freezer to do a review on it. So I feel obligated to every once in a while throw a nice little review of. It doesn't have to be nice, but it's not treated as
But
bad.
we give you true experience with this because it has been a game changer.
Yes. But this thing is a 47 quart fridge freezer, and for ball field stuff was because I don't think you were gonna thought about taking it. I think you were just in the we got.
I hadn't gotten there yet.
No, but normally we take a big cooler. Everything's wet. Then by the time you get it,
here's what was fabulous about this too is that we actually went to Costco the day before and we got a whole bunch of stuff to take. So like berries, watermelon, little roll-up sandwiches in this little cardboard container type thing, and we put it in the fridge. And we got to a point where we were like, wait, we haven't eaten any of these. And so I actually went all to the other softball parents towards the end of the day. I was like, hey, would anybody like one? Don't worry, it's been in the fridge, it's not soggy.
But people were coming up about this freezer and just like, wow, that's smart.
Yeah,
like hell yeah, it was.
And it definitely is a 2-person lift on it.
Sorry, executive producer Andy.
Does it come with a TV holder? So I actually had baby wipes with us yesterday.
I will modify that.
Yeah.
This little handle will now be a TV holder.
Yeah. So it definitely is a 2-person lift because it's heavy.
They make smaller ones.
But they make smaller ones. But for us, this is actually the perfect size for us for a day at the ball field.
Yes. We don't get any kickbacks on this other than they sent us this to try out. But
or if you use our Amazon link, we get an affiliate back on that. But that's it.
But anyways, but yes, so our whirlwind trip ended with this is our daughter playing catcher and having a blast, and we did pretty well in this tournament.
Yeah.
So but we haven't I said it at the beginning, we haven't stopped in 3 weeks.
No,
it's been press trip, refuel, wash some clothes, press trip, like let's go again. And this is the life we chose, and I'm enjoying it. And we hope you guys enjoy the videos that we're
we told our day jobs we don't have any other travel coming up unless for some reason some other manufacturer contacts us.
GMC says, hey, we got the
you want to go to such and such, and we go, yes please.
But I know people go, well, you make money off of YouTube, and we do make a little bit of money. We make just enough right now to basically pay for a vehicle. And so we're greatly appreciated when you guys watch these videos. But trust me, there is a sacrifice. We're losing money doing this, and hopefully the return in the end of the day is good for us.
Thank you for asking, Michael Nice. Unfortunately, she did not make the volleyball team.
She did not, and which we prepared.
But they did tell them, it's like, just because if you don't make it your freshman year doesn't mean that you can't come back and try out your sophomore year. So she's got some work to do because she's never actually played other than like in gym class or things like that. So I foresee her doing some work on it and trying out again next year.
No, 100%.
Because I played in middle school and high school. I tried to get her started when she was in 6th grade, but she didn't want to play. She had no interest in it. And now she does. So
always the way.
What are the small words under a people person? Oh, it says, I used to be a people person, but people ruined it for me. That's what his shirt says.
Yes, there you go. The journalist friends love our goofy shirts, by the way.
Yes.
They love our goofy shirts. But yes, we've been on the go, and unless somebody invites us, we don't have anything for the next month. We have Texas coming up
in September.
At the State Fair. Texas State Fair. So if you guys are ever in the area, please let us. If we announce we're going to be in an area, we're nobody special, but we definitely, if you guys ever want to meet up, whatever, please let us know.
The caveat to that is we're usually very busy when we're in those areas, so we will definitely try our very best, but we can't always guarantee that we can make it squeeze in, because I know we've been up in Nurse AJ's area a couple of times, and she's always been like,
yeah, she mentioned she was like, oh, you're not far from me.
And unfortunately, when our times are very tight, and you can actually, my mother was always like, you never come in for more. Like, we will actually go and stay at my parents' house for an event, and then we might see them for dinner one night, and then we're gone again. So
Andy has been to our house.
Yes,
he has.
It's true.
He's slept out in my front yard.
Yeah.
Okay, so Devin said we got that.
Yeah.
Questions or comments about these, please let us jump in here. If you have anything, want to know anything about what we do. I just thought we'd share this a little bit because honestly, I just haven't been able to keep up with Ford news lately because we've been on the go so much. And I know Allie's had some things, she got busy. And I think she had a migraine or something tonight.
She did have a migraine. She said she had a migraine, but she would try to jump on, and I told her no. Take the night off.
Right. But if you're ever curious about, even if it's after tonight, you're watching this in replay, if you're ever curious about maybe you want to try to get into this industry or whatever, please let us know. We will guide you the best we can. What is Umbrella?
I also squeeze in visits to my mom around car events.
Yes.
Yeah. So my mom actually asked me recently, she was like, could you maybe squeeze up for a long weekend, go to a Reds game and stay up here? And I'm like,
for one, Cincinnati's still 400 miles away from your house.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to schedule when Sid is not playing travel, or maybe she's back in school or something. I don't know. I'm gonna try to travel since I work from home.
You had talked about doing Woodward.
I talked about doing the Dream Cruise. It just depends on what's going on with Sid's school at that point too, because she'll be back in school. She'll be a freshman this year.
Oh, and she has softball tryouts next week.
Yep.
So there's one thing that she might have a good chance at making Andy.
Gosh.
Oh man, you guys are crazy. So this week we have the rest of the week. I actually have to look at what I've got scheduled, because we should have a bunch more videos coming up. The Lexus video GX 550 dropped tonight, and I encourage everybody to watch that video, because that's a good off-road vehicle. Now, is it expensive off-road vehicle? 100%. But if I had to choose between a $65,000 Land Cruiser or maybe the $75,000 to $80,000, and I know that sounds awful, but I think the quality, you're getting a way better engine, not a 4-cylinder, you're getting a V6. I think that would be a good one.
I'm just gonna say, if you were in a muddy area, the vehicle and the mud option is worth it. I'm just gonna say it.
Oh, 100. And I'm going to tease it. You guys won't get to see it till next week, but I want to tease this out just a little bit. And Kelly, she's always kicking me under the seat. I'm the nice guy, really. Kelly never wants.
They won't watch it if you just tease it to them all the time.
Well,
Today on the show, you see the ZR2 Bison, but you know what? There is a Ford Raptor there as well, and we're going to walk around and give our quick opinions on which would we buy and where to spend our money. So let's do it right now. All right, so first up, we got the Ford Raptor, and Kelly, we've done time in this thing. And
Kelly, I forgot
we own one. We bought one because.
So there was just a little teaser of you get to see kind of what's going on with that. Come on, camera, fix up. That to me is going to be a fun video, because now. What do you play?
Devon Heritage, when you get a second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was letting you finish.
No, we're good on that.
So Devon Heritage says, one mid truck in your garage. Do you put a Ranger Raptor or a Bison in there? I have a feeling you've answered this, but a bit too much brown liquor tonight.
Oh, I've not had quite enough. Which one would I put in the garage? You'll have to watch the video. That's a question in the video.
That is a good call. It's answered.
I will say the Bison has been hard to get. I've had a few people in that comments of that going, hey, I've been waiting. They've been on constraint holds for a while. There's 35s on a mid-sized truck. I never thought I'd see the day that a manufacturer would do that. We got in arguments with high-end journalists when we were going to the launch of the Raptor. And I know it's going to have 35s. And I told him, I was like,
the Ranger Raptor.
There's no way they're putting 35s under that truck because, for one, they don't want to re-engineer it for all the travel. Two, they're different. These trucks, I will say, are different spectrums. There is the fast-running Desert Runner, and I think the ZR2 is more of the rock crawler. Yeah. So it depends on where do you want, where's the middle ground for you? So that's and watch the video. Like I said, I think it's Thursday that video drops, but that will be a good time of a video. And I can tell you, let me see. I can tell you, when did I schedule that video? May 30th, which is Thursday. So there you go. Thursday around 3 p.m. Central is when that one will drop. But I was very excited to get to do time in that truck, and I wish we could have got the Taco to put next to the ZR2 or Raptor. Now it's not, that wouldn't be completely fair because it was just the TRD off-road.
Yeah.
Still some good things about that truck. There's a lot of good things about it. It's a Toyota, so it's probably going to last 4 million miles. But
Devin says I'll still watch despite the tease. You know why, Devin? Because he didn't give you the whole video. He likes to do that. Or he'll play like most of the video and then still wants you guys to go watch it.
It's under 7 minutes, Devin. It won't take much of your time. Hey, also, guys, I want to say that as we wind this one down, if you guys don't have any questions about what you saw tonight, when you watch the videos all the way through, trust me, that helps the algorithm a lot for us. So if you ever you're not interested and you just hit play and walk away, that's not a bad thing either. Trust me, because I get notices from YouTube going, hey, people are watching this little video longer. There's a lot of interest in that. And they will say, literally, they will give me a note that says you're granted more access.
Yeah.
Because people are watching this longer. So just throwing that out there.
Michael Nice says, check the spreadsheet because the budget chooses the truck. The budget did not choose my driveway right now. I'm just saying.
No, the car should have been gone. I will say I did take the car out tonight because I really only get to drive it about every 2 weeks now. We only have 3,800 miles on that car, so it doesn't get drove a ton. And I started looking at the channel stats.
It's actually pocketed in the driveway.
That car still outperforms video wise the other two. Video wise, so you might see some more content come up on that. But with for what we've got of that car, unless we modify it, kind of get into that tunerish scene, I don't know what more we could do with that car.
Yeah,
we bought it as basically a 6 month. Let's see what it's like, and we're done with it. But I will say it's a nice screensaver on my computer right now.
Yes.
I don't think I can share the old screensaver. Yeah, there it is. Here. This is my screensaver right now. So it looks really nice right there. And me and my son we did a photo shoot with all these cars the other day. So there is a video coming of where the fleet is at. So I have recorded part of that video.
I know where Michael Nice is going with that.
Stain guard protection. Where's he going with that, Kelly?
I'm done.
Michael, I hope your daughter's doing well.
Yes.
I hope.
How'd she do in her swim meet? Did we ask that? Have we asked that yet?
A long time ago.
Did we ever find out?
Yes, she did well.
I don't know that I was on there.
I think she won.
I don't think it might have been the one I missed.
Maya commented in one of our videos the other day.
I know she did. But that's what I was asking, how her swim meet went.
No, Jess is my brown liquor friend.
Ugh.
Well, so then I think, unless you guys have any questions, which you haven't really thrown anything out there, no.
2 gold and a bronze. Nice job, Maya.
Nice.
That's awesome.
I think that's the show tonight. Next week, we hope to get back to our normal Monday schedule, hopefully, depending softball. We're coming down to the end of line for part of our season of softball, so that dictates kind of the shows here lately. Kelly's looking it up so she can give you a programming note.
Yeah, I don't think we have any I don't think we have any Mondays coming up. But
and the team we were helping with, we are not helping anymore, so they're on their own now and doing well.
Yeah, we don't currently have any, but that doesn't mean tournament games won't be Wednesdays
That's
or
right.
Mondays.
So it looks like next week we will be back to our normal Monday Ford Talk Live shows. Yes, Laura. No matter what you drive, what
up to
this one?
No, Laura's.
Oh, Laura's going to take us out. Final thoughts?
It's been fun, and we appreciate you guys joining us. We know it's a holiday,
Yeah.
and you may have been drinking it up all day, so we appreciate you joining us. And if you're watching this on the replay, thanks for watching. We appreciate you. There's lots of content coming.
We're trying to get to Windrock again. Hey, Jess.
Yeah.
You and Mark need to hit us up about Windrock. I think 3 trucks would be fun to go hit Windrock in real quick.
It would be.
I think you guys are gonna still have some fun with us this summer. We've got obviously we will do some off-roading in the Bronco. The Raptor is definitely going to the sand dunes in Michigan. So I'm gonna race Miss Alcione Ford. Definitely want to drag race her because she's the champ right now, according to what we saw last year in videos.
Michael Nice.
Oh, Anthony asked about Subaru.
Yes, I've got a Subaru coming.
Let's finish. I'm sorry, Anthony. So go ahead.
What are we finishing?
You drove a Forester.
Yes.
I was asking, have we done anything with Subaru?
I wasn't going to give too much detail.
We don't have a video on it. You don't have to say who was with you. You can just give it. You were very impressed with Forester.
I did. I drove a Forester, and I was actually I was very impressed with the way that it did.
She drove it off road.
I did the green trail, and I was very impressed with how it handled. There was one spot where I had to attempt it. I finally got through the mud a third time, but it's because of the wheel clearance. It's how deep the mud was. It's all the things. But it was really impressive. Like, it really surprised me on how well it did in the mud on there.
Good
and
vehicles.
So I can definitely see why people are big on this for their daily, and then
just a little. You can put a rooftop. I mean, because a lot of times we're more to the other end of off-roading where we want to go. We're not going to ever be scaling walls, but we like to do some rock crawling, stuff like that, challenge ourselves a little bit. But there's people out there who just want to get off the beaten path, and a little Forester or something like that would definitely put a rooftop tent on it. Good enough all-wheel drive system. There was a big updates. Remember the luncheon we had on that? Big updates to that vehicle. We would never turn down a Subaru.
There'll definitely be some good talk in the article. Michael Nice says she wanted you to go to Michigan this Saturday. So we are actually our daughter is playing tournaments every single Saturday between now and the 4th of July. And it's local travel, but it's like travel. Shut up. You're having a good time. Yesterday was fun. Yesterday was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we are actually,
which makes it more difficult for the channel as well.
Yeah, tied up to the 4th of July. So at this point, and we don't know, they might add more on.
Oh, we have a Hyperloop video coming up for the Ranger Raptor as well. Surprising miles yesterday. We drove from Nashville basically to East Tennessee. Basically averaged almost 18 in that both ways.
Nice.
It's rated at 18 on the highway, but a lot of times, especially the performance vehicle, you rarely get what they actually say they can do. So but we're going to take it on the Hyper. I want to hit 20 in this thing, maybe 21 in it. So
interesting.
I want to see if I can do that. There's a family in our neighborhood that has 4 same model Subarus. Wow. Well, hey, man.
I mean, I've seen people that have 3 Broncos in their driveways.
We have 3 Ford products, and we're not even brand exclusive. Have a talk show.
Looks that way.
Talk show about Fords. Most popular vehicle in America, but yes. So there you go. So we were had some downtime today. I didn't do anything. Didn't edit any videos. You got to.
I sat on the couch and I binged You on Netflix, and then I watched some other shows. It's a show called You.
You who?
For those that know the show, it's called You. It's on Netflix.
So whether it be 2-wheel drive,
4-wheel drive,
these badass cars. Tell us in the comments below, what do you love driving? This has been your All Terrain Nation. I'm your host, David Boyd.
And I'm Kelly Boyd.
And we're out. Peace, everybody. Love y'all. Happy holidays.